Hello everyone, I'm back with another video today, and today I'm doing a comparison / review on the KMCS, the original KMCS Boonie. This is in the brown color configuration, and then this is the next gen green, the latest version KMCS Kicking Mustang concealment system Boonie, which I have here on the right, which I just got with the release that was earlier this year. I'm super happy that I was able to jump on that before they went out of stock, which is pretty cool. Both of these purchased my own money, so I mean, it's gonna be a very honest review. I'm not partial to anybody on any of these products, so you'll keep that in mind when you go to buy your own, as well as like any other review I do. I pretty much buy them all these products by myself, so I'm going to be as honest and upfront as possible. I'm going to give the pros and the cons of both, and then kind of compare them and see where things improved and maybe where things didn't improve with both of these boonies. Starting out, the leaf structure and also the leaf shape on the original KMCS brown boonie that I have here on my left. I honestly think that the shape of the leaf has improved over in the next gen leaf shape, just because of how it's cut out. It's cut out in a different pattern on each individual leaf. These leaves, as you can see, are all shaped the same. And as far as the structure goes with these leaves, they're flat, so they don't really mimic an exact leaf. As far as like the next gen green KMCS Boonie, the leaf has more of a wrinkle to it, and it kind of like it would blend in more with like an actual like foliage, as far as like leaves, brush, bushes, stuff like that, sticks. It's more like crumpled up, so it feels and looks like a leaf, an actual leaf, because it is artificial veg. It's not actual vegetation, so you've got to mimic it as best as possible. So I think the improvement as far as the leaf goes has improved by far. The addition of the halo screen, which this never had, but you can always add it because it does have the mesh throughout the boonie itself, and also the loops. But this actually comes with a little bit of a halo screen here. You got the light greens and some dark greens. I wish they would have added a little bit more, but hey, at least there's some on here, which is cool. So you don't have to, you don't have to buy the halo screen yourself, but would be recommended for sure. But if you're not really wanting to, it does come with a few spots, so that's pretty cool. And this halo screen really like disrupts the structure of the boonie, so it looks more realistic when you're looking out into like a woodland environment. It kind of breaks up the silhouette a lot more. As far as this, some of the open spots on here where that halo screen would be good, it doesn't have that already on there, so that's what's nice about the halo screen as well. It's also kind of like a mimic of a leaf, which is really cool. Another thing I'm going to go over is the color, the overall color, and the pattern of it. So the pattern on the original KMCS Boonie is more of like a woodland or a real tree, like just like almost like a hunting camo, I think, pattern, in my opinion, of what it kind of mimics. And this is more of like a pencott green, standard like pencott color, which is nice. A lot of people would much rather prefer this color, but I honestly liked the original color, just because I think it blended in with like woodland environments better, and it also blended in better with urban environments too, just based on the color. Well, not the color, but based on the color pattern. As far as the color goes, it's not as like it's not like, it doesn't really pop. It's not as vivid, and it's more of like a flat color, more of a dull color. Maybe just because it's super old. Had this for a few years now, so it's pretty worn, so maybe the color was worn too. But the colors pop a lot more on the next gen green KMCS Boonie, as you can tell. And the colors, are a lot, they match your actual environment a little bit better. Obviously this one's not made for, summertime, and this one is not made for, fall and spring. But when it does get to summertime, this would match the environment better than if this were in an environment where it's, fall or spring, just based on the colors. But in my opinion, I think the pattern chosen for this original KMCS Boonie, I like the pattern a little bit better. The color is still good as well. I think it's still solid. I just like the color a little bit better. That's just my opinion. But another thing with this Boonie is the outer rim of the Boonie. So it's much stiffer, and you can kind of shape it, and it doesn't dip down. So when you're wearing the Boonie, it doesn't get in the way of your eyes. You can kind of peel it back or kind of shape it a little bit, depending on which Boonie you have. This one doesn't really have the wire rim, but it's more structured of a rim. This one has nothing. So when you're wearing it, as I'll show right now, throw this on. Also, another thing to add, it does still have the elastic on the back and on the chin strap on the next gen as well. So that's good that he left that feature in there. So when you're wearing it, as you can kind of see, it can dip down, so it gets near the way of your vision. Especially if you're using a rifle scope, this can kind of get in the way a little bit. But you can just kind of pop it back or cut the leaf, which I've done, so that it doesn't get in the way of anything when you're looking down your optic. But another thing is, it doesn't have much of a shape. Sometimes it just peels and bends and covers the ears. But with the next gen, it's going to be more like this, where it's more circular shaped. And I'll kind of show that. Throw this on. Let me put this on real quick. I also have the GoPro / action cam mount on this one already, so I'm just gonna show you how that's done real quick. So there's that. So as you can see already, you can tell it's super well circular shaped. Doesn't get in front of my eyes whatsoever, and that's just throwing it on immediately. You don't have any of those issues or anything like that. The wire or the elastic strap, perfect there. And the elastic strap here, you do need to, depending on your head size, you need to adjust it a little bit, but you also have enough space where you can adjust it out, adjust it down, and leave it a little bit more loose, especially if you're wearing a GoPro mount or a GoPro head strap. It isn't as tight around your head compared to the No Ridge Boonie. It's super tight, and if you wear a head strap, you're gonna cut off circulation on your head. It's gonna be pretty painful, even after just one game, and I've done that, so I know from experience doing that. So that's what's nice about the next gen green. They've kept the size as far as the Boonies go. When you're wearing it, the size is the same. Also, the elastic around is still attached to the next gen, so you still have the straps, and you still have some of the elastic straps. So both are good for adding actual realistic vegetation, natural vegetation, I should say. If you're going to do that, you can use those little loops and throw in that as well. Not necessary, but I mean, it does help, and I personally don't do it, but it does help if you were to do that. So that's nice to have as an added feature. And as far as crafting goes, it looks like all of the webbing on both are about the same. So throw zip ties through them and raffia, all sorts of stuff, and still be able to craft these Boonies as normal, just like any other Boonie that's now made, because a lot of the Boonies now are kind of going after taking notes on the KMCS Boonies, but it's not as good as the actual KMCS Boonie. But another thing, what was the last thing I was going to go over? I think that's pretty much it as far as these boonies go. I showed the shape. The amount of leaves on these boonies are about the same, but the way that the next gen pops out a little bit more is because of how the leaves have kind of a different like wrinkle to them, and they're not like just flat. They're not like cutouts of leaves. They feel and like look more realistic just based on like how they're how they're shaped and how they're cut out. These are just flat and cut out, so it looks like there's more here on your head than there is on here because it's just flat, and some of them are just laying down. That's pretty much it. I'll show some footage of what it looks like in a winter environment with no snow. So but obviously in a winter environment, neither of these boonies are really preferred, but this one actually is pretty good still in the winter because there is trees and sticks and stuff, so the brown does go pretty well with that. I would not recommend wearing this in a winter environment, but I'll show a clip somewhere around in this video of that side by side of these two boonies next to each other. That's pretty much all I have. This boonie I've had for, I don't even know, it's been a while, probably 3+ years, and nothing's ripped or broken, or I've never had to replace it. It's super reliable, and it's my favorite boonie. I even, some Milsims and events and ops and whatnot, and different event organizers just like, they recommend you wear the same helmet or the same boonie or the same hat as your color faction. But I always, like, no matter what, I'll wear this, even if like my faction is like green, cost, whatever. I still want to wear this boonie because it's so comfortable, especially in the summer when it's like 90+ degrees out. It's super breathable, and the next gen green is the exact same concept as that. It's breathable as well, and the ventilation goes through, and it doesn't make you as hot, but I mean, you're still gonna get pretty sweaty and whatnot, but still, that is nice and helpful as far as that goes. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. I will do a actual comparison in like different environments once it gets to spring and then hits summer. Once it transitions to that green foliage and green leaves and green vegetation, stuff like that, then I'll really be able to show you guys what it looks like in that environment. And as far as like Wisconsin, Indiana, where I'm from, this really will work well. I already know it'll work well in the summer environment or the summer season because of just by looking at it, I can already tell it's gonna be great. But I will have a video on both of these, so actually being out in like the actual environment for these. But this is just like a review, comparison, just showing you the pros and cons of each. And hopefully this is helpful. If you decide to choose this or any other brand boonie out there, you can even just get some Milsert boonie, but I would recommend these over that, just because even for the price point on these are pretty much the same, even if you were to go to a surplus and get a boonie. The features are just way more features than an actual like boonie you'd get at a surplus store. Like, this strap alone is a reason. This strap right here is a reason to get one of these boonies, because it really helps just to keep it tight to your head. Otherwise, if you don't have that strap, your boonie will fly off, especially if you're running or doing any longer distance movement. You might lose your boonie if you don't have something strapped to your head. So that's pretty much all I had. Hopefully you found this information helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good time.